Oh! Well, hello! Or should I say salutations, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, this time I have an external microphone. You're actually able to clip it over, like, on your collar like this, but I'm going to be holding it in my hand for the remainder of the video because it makes me look more professional. So, as some of you may know, right now I am in college, and even though I can't realistically produce new LEGO SpongeBob episodes right now, I figured, why not make you something a little bit different? This is actually a video I've been wanting to make ever since I remade LEGO SpongeBob Survival of the Idiots, and that is where I do a video showing you some behind the scenes. I had a crazy time making that video. But before we begin, I would like to send a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video. Alright, here we go. It's a big box. ClickBot. Let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered what it would feel like to have your own robot? Well, I know I have. Move aside, boys. There's a new sheriff in town. ClickBot is an interactive robot that appeals to both younger and older demographics. It's a toy that kind of blurs the line between building blocks and programming. All it takes is one ClickBot kit, a smart device, and a little bit of creativity to make your wildest dreams come true. I mean, look at this. I got a box filled with the very tools I need to build my own robot. And these components are not cheap by any means. This is a quality product. All of the parts are nice and sturdy, they have just the right amount of weight to them, and the way they snap together just feels so secure. And ClickBot reinforces its emphasis on creativity through its ingenious design. You're not just buying a robot, you're buying thousands of robots in one box. And I consider myself to be a little bit creative, so look what you can do! You can turn them into this! Or this! Or this! But the fun doesn't stop there. Once you've made the robot of your dreams, you can link him up to your phone and input your very own commands at will. But don't be intimidated if you're new to robot building. The ClickBot app is filled with tons of resources to get you started. And the app has plenty of videos to watch to give you inspiration of what you can possibly make next.
Hey, Mr. Krabs, check out this cool robot I found.
Brilliant find, me boy. We could use it to attract more customers.
Laugh while you still can, you fools. When I get my own ClickBot kit, I'll be able to build a robot that can steal the Krabby Patty formula.
ClickBot, can you do us a favor?
Visit the link in the description and use the code ClickBotLS to get 5% off your ClickBot purchase today. Take it away, Lorenzo. Thank you very much, Lorenzo. Now, before we get into the actual behind-the-scenes material for today's video, I would like to give you a little bit of backstory. Now, as some of you longtime fans of mine may know, a long time ago, in about late 2014, I believe, I made a remake of one of my personal favorite SpongeBob episodes, Survival of the Idiots. So, like, it was one of my most popular videos and also one of the most crazy, I would say. Alright, so like right now I'm watching it on my channel. It actually just broke 5 million views recently. Thank you guys very much. That's very nice. Oh my god, this is just very, very rough. So I think one of the reasons that I was really inspired to document the behind the scenes for this episode in the making is because how different the new version is from the original. When you watch the original and then watch the new one, the difference is night and day, really. I'm just watching like the animation right now and this is so rough. Anyway, even when I made this video back in 2014, it was still one of my favorite SpongeBob episodes. I don't know why, I just really like the story, and the comedy is on point. This came out in Season 2, one of the greatest seasons of SpongeBob of all time. So when I remade this video, I wanted it to be more than just another remake, you know, with better quality, better animation, better recording, all of that. I wanted it to be very special. And since my clay skills have improved so much over the past few years, I really wanted to push myself to see what I could do today with everything that I have learned since 2014. I made the remake of Survival of the Idiots when I was 19, so let's delve into it, shall we? Now, the first comments that I usually see on the remake are comments about the claymation, and well, yeah, that was really my main focus when conducting the remake. When I made Survival of the Idiots back in 2014, one thing that you may remember the most about it was the Sandy puppet, which was a Donkey Kong figurine that I just so happened to have. It's probably one of the best creative choices I made for that video. The video, in my opinion, is very cringy already. It was made by like 13-year-old me. But the fact that Hibernation Sandy is represented by a giant Donkey Kong figure, it adds a certain element of unintentional hilariousness to it. Like, I wasn't intending for it to be funny. It wasn't like I picked Donkey Kong and I was like, oh, Donkey Kong, haha, funny. No, it was just, that was the best tool I had at my disposal. So the first thing that I wanted to do when making a remake was make my own claymation Sandy, make it more realistic to the original episode. I was playing with some modeling clay that I had one day, and I started toying around thinking, what if I were to make a stop motion puppet of Hibernation Sandy? I had made a whole bunch of stop motion puppets over the past few years for my Clay Kremling channel, some animated short films I made, some reanimated collabs, you might have seen them, you can check them out. So I tried to do that, but for Sandy herself. And it ended up looking really, really good. I made a whole bunch of other mouths for her with different expressions. I started experimenting with it, and then I thought to myself, oh, damn, I got to make this into a film. So, one of the biggest challenges for this video is making a stop-motion puppet of Sandy that works in conjunction with the Lego figures, because listen here, I'm going to tell you this right now. Lego figures are really, really damn small. Actually, let me show you one right now. Let me show you one right here. See this? This is a Lego SpongeBob figure, and it is smaller than my thumb. Look at that. Meanwhile, stop-motion puppets that are able to portray a substantial amount of expression, they need to be pretty big. They need to be able to hold detail, and you need to be able to make very small, intricate movements on them while also being able to do big, expressive movements. So it was a real challenge figuring out, how am I going to make a Sandy stop-motion puppet that looks good and animates well, but is also able to fit on screen with this. Yeah, it was an undertaking to say the least. So what I started to do was I said, okay, I'm going to make a whole bunch of Sandy stop motion puppets. I'll make a few for close-up shots that can animate really well and hold a lot of detail, but I'll also make smaller puppets that will just barely fit on the screen with the Lego figures. I was pretty happy with how it turned out. So by the time that I was finished working on all of these Sandy puppets, I think I had a total of about 4 different puppets. I had one bust up which had the most detail, one bust up of her in the bed, a full body one for some of the wide shots where she's standing near SpongeBob and Patrick, and another full body puppet for when she's lying in bed. Those puppets, they might look big on screen, but I promise you, they were so tiny. They were so tiny that I could barely animate them. Let's just say I was pushing the limits of what was possible in terms of smallness for claymation puppets that are made by hand. For me, at least. Legos are rigid. You can't change how they look. A Lego figure is a Lego figure. I can't enlarge it and I can't miniaturize it without the use of editing, and I don't want to Photoshop. I don't know anything about Photoshop. I just know how to animate and how to sculpt. That is what I'm comfortable with. Anything else, I gotta learn it another time. I really had to work the clay around the Legos, not the Legos around the clay, because you just can't do that. One of the segments of the episode where I knew I wanted to take some creative liberties was the action sequence. A lot of people say that I really went extreme with it, and yes, that was the entire point. I wanted to do way more than the original episode. The explosion effects, the punching effects, the music, the lighting. I wanted to elevate the whole scene into absurd heights, surpassing the original. And I'm pretty happy with the end result. The way I work is whenever I make a video, I always have the entire vision in my head. It's just a matter of materializing it. And there are times where I'm not sure how I'm going to make one bit of animation or shoot one scene or edit something together, how I'm going to make it work. But I feel like that's the fun of it. You know that there is going to be a challenge and a bit of uncertainty, but that's what makes it fun. It was a lot of hard work to change the set so much. First, I had to uplift all of the Lego panels to make room for the clay. Now, let me show you very quickly a bit about how I work with clay. Fuck. I got some clay on the floor. Let's take a look at this, for example. This is the puppet that I made of Patrick for the episode Life of Crime. You can check it out with this card up there if you haven't already. If we take a look behind it, all of this is clay that I've used in past animations. Because after I'm done working with the clay for the specific puppet I tailored it to, it gets dirty. Like this, for example, this is pink. This is pastel pink clay. Any color that is white or pastel or bright in general, it gets muddy very easily. And then it doesn't really look that good. And sometimes I'm not even able to use it as pink again or use it as yellow again or whatever. So what I do is I put it through a roller and then I repurpose the clay as filler. So it just turns into this hodgepodge of, it's just a blend of a bunch of stuff. But even though the color is ultimately tarnished, I'm still able to get a lot of use out of this. And what's wonderful about this clay that I use is it never goes bad. It never dries out. You can use it. I mean, this clay right here, this clay that I'm showing you right here, I've probably been using since 2017. As I'm recording this video, it is 2022 right now, so I'd say I'm getting my money's worth. Why waste perfectly good brand new colored clay when you could just reuse the old stuff for some of the stuff that's under the surface? That way you're not going through as much material. It's just a way to get the biggest bang from your buck. And then even for the trees, those weren't all made out of brown clay. It was 90% filler clay with just some brown clay on top of it. Now, another interesting part about the animation process, sometimes it's best to film all of the shots in one particular setting all at once. All of the scenes in the snow, I did them all in a row, and all the scenes where they're inside of Sandy's house, I did those all in a row, and I just edited together the clips. Trust me, that is the way to go, because physically alternating those backdrops and sets, it would just be unrealistic, really. And other than that, the filming process was pretty straightforward from there. Obviously, clay takes way more time to animate because you have to physically make the puppets, and there's so much more detail in the movements. It's completely different from animating Legos. It's a lot more difficult, a lot more time consuming, but for me, I find it the most rewarding because you are able to incorporate so much personality into it. So all in all, making this video took a total of, I'd say, a good month of work. And when I say a month, I don't mean I was animating for a month. I'm talking from the moment I started making the puppets, to the set, to the animation itself, to the editing, all of that took about a month to do. And to this day, I'd say it's probably my favorite LEGO SpongeBob video. I'm very, very proud of it. I don't know if I would say that it's my all-time favorite film that I've ever made. I've made a lot of films, but it's definitely the LEGO SpongeBob video that I am the most proud of. And seeing the way that you guys responded to it and received it meant a lot to me. I look at the comments of that video some days, and it's everyone saying, I can't believe how much you've improved since I started watching you back in 2013 or 2014. And I'm really proud of it, and I'm really glad that I could share it with all of you. If you haven't seen the episode yet, please watch it. I would really greatly appreciate it. And if you're curious, watch the original too. To me, it's really like watching yourself grow up before your eyes. It's daunting, it's mesmerizing, it's scary, but it's beautiful too. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up. I know that this is a bit out of my comfort zone, and I've never made a video like this before. I'm hoping to make more soon. Like I said, I am extremely busy with college, but I'm hoping that potentially in the future I can make more videos with myself so I can give you guys content when I don't have time to make a LEGO SpongeBob video. So, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, this is LEGO SpongeBob, or Lorenzo, signing off.
That Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob think they're so clever. But wait till they see what I have in store for them. In only just a moment, you will be my new creature of the Chum Bucket. This is the Chum Bucket? In only a few moments' time, your DNA combined with my genius will create a creature big enough and strong enough to defeat Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob and their precious Clickbot robot. Are you still going to give me that jar of mayonnaise you promised? Now then, let's get this show on the road. What the? It kinda tickles. Oh, yes.
Are you a good Clickbot? Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
SpongeBob! Have you been able to teach it how to make 100 Krabby Patties all at once yet?
Well, no, but I taught him how to make a teddy bear. Look how cute he is.
Davy Jones! You go get him, SpongeBob! I'm right behind you!
All right, Clickbot, let's get him.
This can't be! No! No! Well, this stinks.
Woohoo! Nice one, Clickbot.
Yay! Hooray, SpongeBob! I knew you had it in ya, and you too, Clickbot. Oh, that was a close one.